something that's holding a lot of people back is the fear of being wrong. And when I think back to my younger life, the amount of times, right, I'll be in school, be in whatever lesson it is, science, maths, English, whatever, the teacher would ask a question, right? I would probably know the answer to the question, but I wouldn't be certain. I might be 50-50. Now, at that point, you've got two different options. Either I could put my hand up, the teacher could ask me the question, and I could risk getting it wrong, cool, which is fine, no problem. Or I can say, yo, you know what, I'm not even going to put myself out there. I'm not going to put my hand up. So then a lot of the time when I was younger, I would decide not to put my hand up. Someone answers the question, they're right. And then slightly for a second, I get that bit of annoyance. I'm just like, oh, right, I was right. Like, why was I scared to put my hand up? And with that mindset actually stopped with me a bit later on in life in my school journey, right? Because I was watching a 50 Cent interview. He put out a book, I think in '07, called The 50th Law. Did it with Robert Greene. Robert Greene was the guy that did 48 Laws of Power, right? And 50 Cent goes through that same example that I kind of talked about, right? But he kind of talks about it in a corporate environment. And this gave me so much perspective, right? So what he said is that cool. You've got these people in an office, right? So you've got the manager and then you've got these colleagues, right? So they're doing a presentation. The manager basically asks a question to the colleagues. You've got person A, you've got person B. Both of them, they know the right answer to the thing, right? But the manager asks a question. Person A is thinking, okay, cool, there's a crowd of people, there's about 20 employees here. If I answer the question and I get it wrong, I'm going to be embarrassed in front of these people. Rather than me even answering the question, I'm just not going to say anything. I'm 80% sure I'm right, but I'm not certain, so I'm not going to do it right. You got person B, they're only 50% sure that they're right, but they think, oh, you know what, let me show some initiative. Even if I'm wrong, this is a learning lesson. So they end up answering the question. They actually happen to be right. So the moral of that story is that out of person A and person B, 50 Cent and Robert Greene was saying that person B deserves to be ahead of person A in life. The reason being, person A in life, they have the right answer, but because of their fear of being wrong, they're not actually letting themselves contribute to the workplace. So because of that, person B deserves to be ahead of person A in life, because at least person B was fearless. They didn't have the fear of being wrong. So it kind of just made me think that, yo, in life, fear is what's going to cripple a lot of people, the fear of rejection, the fear of being wrong. But think about it, even if you've got slim chances, you're always better off just putting yourself out there, and you're always going to be ahead of the person that takes no shots. Like, you know, Michael Jordan's got that quote. I'm sure a lot of other basketball players have that quote where, yo, I scored 11,000 points, but for me to score 11,000 points, I had to miss 4,000 shots, for example. I had a chance of making every shot that I took, but there's a 0% chance of me scoring points off of shots I never took, or something along those lines, right? And that's kind of just true in life. So